Hello. Oh goodness, hang on. Happy Sunday. I'm gonna spin today. And I finished the green and I brought it. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Hello. Hello. The time changed, so I don't know if anybody's even gonna come today. We're just gonna have to just wait and see, I guess. There we go. Bridget's here. Hello. Daylight savings time started in the middle of the night last night. And last night we were laying in bed and I said to John, hey, does the time change tonight? And he was like, yeah, I don't know. So, sorry, I didn't let anyone know earlier. Hello. Joanne said, hi, I'm visiting my parents in the Chicago area. Nice. How's the weather in Chicago? It is snowing here. We woke up to snow and it's been snowing pretty much all day. Hello. Oh my goodness, Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda, you're close. You're close to Carrie too. Hello, and there's Nyla. Nyla, your order's going out in the morning. Just thought I'd let you know. But my brake line, you guys, my brake line on my car, not one of my cars, I only have one car, was leaking. I was driving yesterday and I was like, okay, my brakes feel really weird. So I texted John and I'm like, something's wrong with my brakes. So I explained it to him. And then when I got home, I'm like, do you think I could be low on brake fluid? So he looked and I was indeed low on brake fluid because there's a leak. So, yay. Driving might be interesting this week. Oh, okay. Sarah said they finally got snow in Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. It looks like you're excited. I'm happy for you if you're happy. Look at here's Anne and Rita. Look at everybody's here. I guess they remembered that the time was changing. Hello, Margarita. I have been thinking about you and wondering how you're doing. Oh, Rita says it's cold and rainy. You're in South Carolina, right, Rita? Is that right? Carrie says, love Chicago, especially the pizza. Hi, Andra. I like the pizza in Chicago too. I really like Chicago. I feel like it's a big city, but it's also Midwest, so you get a better balance, let's say. Daniel said, hi, Trish. Do you know anything about the Spinolution Firefly e-wheel? I don't, Daniel. I don't really know that much about the Spinolutions. I bought a very early one and it didn't go great, but it was a very early one, so I would not hold that against them. Hello. Margaret said hello from Vancouver. Okay, yes, Rita's in South Carolina. I thought so. Mel said, hey gang, it's snowing here again. Blech. That's how I feel. Ugh. What are you doing?
I gotta go pay for that part. They can have it tomorrow.
Oh, John just said they can have a brake line for me tomorrow, so I'll have a car before too long. He was having trouble finding one. Okay. Disky Chick said, hi, first time watching your live, but love your videos. I'm Susan from Knoxville, Tennessee, and so excited to be here. Welcome. Actually put down my weaving to watch. Thanks. But if you want to just weave, we'll just keep you company. Of course, if some of you guys didn't participate, excuse me, there wouldn't be really anything to watch except me knitting or spinning. Which, I mean, I guess it might be fun. I think I might like to watch that for somebody else, but it also might be boring for a lot of people. Sarah said, just a little excited. It's been a very warm winter between 40 and 70. I'm so jealous. I mean, I understand that you're excited. Hello, Abir. I saw your pictures of all your projects you've got going. It's lovely. Margarita said, I've been surviving. The students have been crazy because of spring break. I need to ask Sheep Boy about your wool. Sheep Boy? Who's that? Also, I saw that Susie said she loves her Firefly. That's a Spinolution wheel. I do feel like the situation that I had was probably very unusual. Because it seems like people really like their wheels. So, Bridget said, I'm waiting the arrival of my new Ashford Joy 2. How exciting. Hello, Crystal. Crystal said, yay. Carrie said, I could handle, I think is what you meant, 70-degree winter. I could too. We know that. Andrea said, I'm almost done with the second sleeve of my Lume, I don't know, pullover by Sari Norlund. I probably said that wrong too. I'm so sorry. So excited. I don't think I know that pattern. A lot of times you guys mention them, and then I go and look at a pattern, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do know that one. Or I'm like, oh, it's in my queue. Shelly said, just finished cleaning and carding my first whole alpaca fleece. It took forever. Good job, Shelly. Don't you feel accomplished, though, or do you not? I remember doing, like, the first couple fleeces. I just felt like, you know, a rock star. Rita said, I so wish we would get snow. Crystal said, sometimes it's nice to just watch knitting or spinning. I mean, it does feel like it would be relaxing. I've never just watched someone spin or knit, really. Cheryl said, hello from sunny Saskatchewan, also chilly. Welcome, Lynn, Deanna. Arlene said, darn time change. I almost missed you. I figured it would get someone. Rachel said, good morning, at least here in SoCal. Carrie said, some projects work better for the live than others. So true. I mean, I always think ahead, like, what am I going to do? MNAP said, too funny, tuned in just as you mentioned Margarita, then Rita. I'm Margarita, but go by Rita. That is crazy. Oh, uh-oh. My camera's stuck. That hasn't happened in a long time. I don't know what this is gonna do, but we're gonna do it anyway. Just trust me. Okay, hang on. Oh, it's still stuck. All right, we're gonna try and reboot the camera, I guess. Okay, that doesn't mean I can't. Margarita said, I found a source for wool for you in Indiana. Oh, uh-oh. Now we'll delete it. I'm sorry, I'm missing stuff right now. Okay, it's back on. Let's see if we add it again. Is this gonna mess me up? That hasn't happened in a long time. Yay! Okay. One more thing I gotta do. All right, I can't remember how to move it to the back. Oh wait, maybe I have to do that. Order, move, down. Didn't work. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. It has happened before, but not for a while. Louie's got to come back up. Hang on. Come here, baby. Okay, sorry. John went out to go pay for that brake line for me, and so Luther got down when he went out. No, it's me. Bridget said, I was wondering if that was just me. I went out and back in. It was the same. Yeah, it's the camera occasionally. It doesn't happen a lot. Rhonda said my first time in one of these chats. Welcome. Look at you, first timers. I love it. Rita said, hello, Margarita. We could just say other Rita. Rico, no, you didn't break it. It was me. It just happens. Margarita said, was it Targi? I missed what you said because I was distracted. I did see that you said you found a wool source. You're right. Sarah said the camera doesn't like the time change. Teresa said, hi, Rhonda, welcome. Shelly said, I'm feeling accomplished for sure. Just gotta love the fibers. I'm going to weave a rug and then back to spinning. With the alpaca? Sounds cool. Thank you, Margaret. Learning to do the live stuff with all the cameras, because I have 2 cameras and I use a special piece of software to stream from both cameras at once and stuff, has been a project. And like, what do you do if one of them freezes up? It took me a while to figure out how to make it work. So Rita said, hello, Rhonda. Welcome to the rabbit hole. Hi, Connie. Carrie said, I'm plying sock yarn spun from Cheviot. Sorry, someone just recently told me that I was pronouncing it wrong. And nylon bats I made over a year ago. I decided to spin my oldest stash and not get anything from but my PF box until Ann Arbor. Look at you. Hello, Venus. Craft Design said, would you mind sharing what app you use to add a second camera? I use OBS. It's called, I think it's Open Broadcasting. Oh, it's OBS. She said, I'm teaching a Zoom class in a couple weeks and I'm still looking for a way to use multiple cameras. I can't remember if it works with Zoom. Let me look really fast. I feel like it might. Oh, I can't do that. I can't look while it's going. I'm sorry. But it's free. And there's a lot of videos on how to use it out there. I mean, I still learn stuff that I can do with it sometimes. Teresa said, I'm knitting on a hand spun shawl poncho. Not sure I'm going to have enough yarn. Anyways, I'm having fun. I'm glad you're having fun. That kind of sounds like me. I'll be like, I hope I have enough yarn. Excuse me. Hello, Disney Knitter. I'm sorry. We have snow too. Mel said, welcome to all the first timer. Andy's dog is growling at Luther. Usually I show him himself and he'll growl at that. Oh no. Crystal said I sliced my thumb open, so I'm grounded from spinning. I can still knit though. Is it your right or your left? Cheryl said, what would be a good wool to blend with alpaca for making sock yarn with? Thanks, Laura. Laura joined the membership. I maybe rejoined. I'm not sure. What would I blend alpaca with for socks? I kind of struggle with alpaca for socks because it is so hot. But I would use something really springy if I was going to blend it with alpaca, because alpaca doesn't have any spring. Shelly said I will weave a rug with wool, and also thinking about trying a rag rug on a peg loom. Mel just finished An Age of Brass and Steam. I love those. Craft Design said, that's okay. I did look and it won't work with Zoom that I can find. I think it actually does. Joanne said, yes, OBS works with Zoom. I think it does. I'm pretty sure I've used it, but I think you have to use the virtual camera setting or whatever. I'm pretty sure. Crystal said, to carry, at least it was a sharp knife. Susie said, I'm blocking a circular lace yoke that is still in the needles. Rosenrot tree. I hope that was right. The pattern told me to do it. Deanna said, almost finished with third bobbin of Shetland to 3-ply for a sweater. I washed and spun from Flicked Locks. Oh my gosh, from Flicked Locks, that's hard work. Knapp said, Yarn Chicken is one of my favorite games. I like it too. Margarita said, I found a sheep farmer in Indiana that just throws out the wool you like, that type of Suffolk. It was a Suffolk, so I'm hoping to get you some wool in the spring. Oh my gosh, Margarita, yeah. Lynn said I could use some snow. You guys, I'm having a hot flash now because of my camera and the OBS. takes a minute. Carrie said, thank goodness I cut my finger with a bread knife a couple weeks ago and that was messy. Oh no. Crystal said, right thumb at an angle that spinning isn't going to work. It always hurts on the like pads and tips of your fingers. Venus said, I'm spinning on the second spool of a fractal spin. Almost done, then I can play. Look at you guys are spinning fools. Andy said, time to remind everyone to hit the like button. Laura said, rejoined. I thought so. She said, my card expired and I struggled to get it updated. Yay. Rita said, doesn't alpaca stretch over time? It can. You can minimize that the way that you spin it. But there's only so much you can do. Oh my goodness. Kim said, what is the type of drum carder you have now? I know it's a classic, but what size? I have the biggest one. She said, I have one, but it's the compact one. But I also kept my Strouch Finest, so I have 2 carders still. Abir said, alpaca has no memory. Would it work for socks? You have to blend it with something that has, like, is very springy. Disky said, I did a rag rug with fabric. Was so fun. I'm loving my rug. Mel said, I have alpaca nylon sock. Oh, but she's always cold. Okay. I don't know why my brain wouldn't read that. I'm sorry. Craft Design said, I will look again. Thanks. Hello, Rocks. You probably have snow too. Laura said, I too am weaving, hoping I have enough yarn as I change my mind as to how I was going to weave it in midstream. That sounds like something I do. Rita said, Carrie, you need to keep super glue close. I literally have some right here. Margarita said yes. So Suffolk. I think you're saying yes to Suffolk. Excuse me. Crystal said, I read a study on alpaca for sock yarn on the Spin-Off website. I think, you could spin it to make socks. It has been done for a long time. They're just going to be super warm, and you need to spin them a certain way, if that makes sense. So Carrie said, Rita, that would be a good idea. Elizabeth said, Margarita, what? Where is this farm? Oh, Elizabeth's in Indiana. See, this is a good thing. Being able to network all together to get all of us more wool. Crystal said, I think 25% of alpaca, the rest a long wool. I would not go higher than 25%. I think that's good advice. But you could do like something like Cheviot or Romney's really springy, but it's not exactly always going to be resistant to felting, so you got to be kind of careful. Anne said, I have 2 sweaters to knit for different knit-alongs, so what am I doing today? Knitting socks. Do what brings you joy. 100%. All I do is knit socks for Sock Madness, and because I'm going to moderate for Super Sock this year, so all I do is knit socks all the time. Elizabeth said, yesterday spun implied the Zwart Bliss we got in PF bag a couple months ago. It did smell not great, but not super awful like some people said theirs did. I could smell mine. Rock said, I didn't think it was bad, but I could smell it. Rock said, wettest winter on record, 7th snowiest. The potholes are treacherous this year. Same here. It is so bad on our street because we're in the country. No one really takes care of our road because we're like on the edge of a county line. And Sean was driving me on it the other day and trying to dodge potholes. Margarita said, I finally finished a pair of socks on the knitting machine. Good for you. I took them up to work to try and fix something. I think I dropped the socks in the parking lot. Is it a sock machine or just a regular knitting machine? Because I used to do that. Irini said, hello from hot Greece. Hot Greece. You lucky. We got snow last night. Caitlin said we got some more snow yesterday in Minnesota. Idamus finally caught alive. Welcome. Just wanted to say I really appreciate the content you're making. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that it's helping you. Margarita said the farm is near South Bend. Beer said I'm working on a default sock pattern. That's why I was trying to measure my foot. I can never understand when to start the heel in a toe-up sock. It can be tricky. I have used that trick for a long time. Elizabeth said, I just looked at your shawl pics. It is amazing. I'm going to have to go look. Are they on Facebook? Cheryl said, thank you. Rita said, I carded alpaca and Rambouillet together last year. Still have a little more to finish up. That would be very nice, but Rambouillet isn't going to hold up super like swell in socks. It's not going to wear well. Betty said, good morning. Just came across your YouTube and have been addicted to older episodes. Consider spinning my own yarn on a drop spindle. Can you recommend a couple types of wool for a beginner? Can I? I like, for a beginner, I like Romney, BFL, and Corriedale. Those are my 3 favorites for beginners, but there are many that are great for beginners. So that's not by no means a comprehensive list. Cheryl said, I have Rambouillet. Mel said, Rox and I are driving the struggle bus with all the snow and potholes. I almost lost a kidney driving downtown. That would be terrible. Did it just like almost shoot out? That's awful. Margarita, Elizabeth said, Margarita, that's like 2 hours from me. Dylan said, I want to start spinning, but have a wool allergies. What would be good for beginner without the itching? Thank you. I know is random. So are you okay with other animal fibers? Like, is alpaca okay? It's hard for a beginner. Let me think about that a little bit. The beginner part is what throws me off because there is a lot of stuff that you can spin. Teresa said, I made 100% alpaca bed, socks, slippers for my aunt who was in hospice. They were lovely. Excuse me. I knitted them in 1x1 rib, but for normal socks, adding wool is probably a good idea. I think for bed socks, they would be so warm. It would really be nice, but they will tend to grow a little bit probably, but that's okay for bed socks. Okay. Margarita said it's a sock machine. Deb, who I don't think is here right now, is learning to use her sock machine right now, and she's really getting there. I'm so sorry you dropped them. I dropped mine at some that I dyed at the drive-in theater, and I still I almost want to cry thinking about it because they were so pretty, and it's like I can never make that colorway again, but what are you gonna do? Carrie said, welcome, Betty. I like BFL for a new spinner. See, so we agree on that. Actually, John was looking for something in my studio this week, and he found 2 of the beginner spinning kits for the shop. So they're going to go back in the shop. I want to start spinning, but you guys vote. Which one should I spin? This is number 1. Oh, the light's reflecting. This is number 2. Which one? Okay, Teresa said spin alpaca to Dylan. Laura said I am knitting socks as well, but I have to use knitting looms. I cannot knit with sticks. I'm too uncoordinated, I guess. Laura, you know what? You can if you practice. Just might take a lot of practice. Hello, Tanya. Rini said I'm working on weaving. Oh gosh, it went too fast. The voting. Teresa said alpaca is hypoallergenic and I learned on it. It's more slippery than wool and you have to treadle slowly with not too much take up. Do you have a wheel? 2, 1. Jump in. The sheep are always growing well. That's right. I always say it. Okay, 2, 1, 2, 1. Are you serious, you guys? 1, 1, 2. This is really close. Which one of these do you think I should spin? They're almost like neck and neck. John's going to have the deciding vote.
The one in your left hand. Yep.
Is this my left?
That's your left.
Just kidding. I know my left. It's the one that makes an L. Thanks.
This one makes an L. Look.
So as soon as we're done today, Caitlin said, can I see the choices? Let me open them up. Abir said, my lovelies, my brain is suffering from jet lag, so to bed I must go. Good night, Abir. Night, night, nice people. I'm glad you're home safe. I know jet lag is a pain, but these are from Into the World. I did their subscription. Cool. Elizabeth said, John, thanks for deciding. You guys were too close. Sometimes there's like such a clear winner. It's easy, but that was definitely not easy. Oh my gosh, I can't get this one open. At least I'll be able to drive my car soon. Oh, so we went and dyed 30 hanks of yarn yesterday. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to go up and rinse them. All right, I'm cutting the string. I can't stand it. I'm like a kid. I don't want to untangle it. Oh, gosh. Good night, nurse. All right, here we go. Sorry, Elizabeth said, yes, John, thanks for deciding. Cindy said, good morning. Good morning, Cindy. Okay, here's this one. But this is not the one he picked, of course. The colors look a little different. Dylan said, alpaca, it is. Thank you. Is a drop spindle the best way to start? For some people, yes, and for some people, no. So if you struggle with a drop spindle, don't feel like you just can't do it. Excuse me, I don't know what is going on with my voice. But it is a good, like, quick, less expensive way to get going. But if you're going to start with alpaca, do make sure it is Wakaya. You probably will really struggle if you buy Surrey. So you do not want to start with Surrey alpaca. Catherine said, hello, everyone. So glad to be with you. If a little late, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Cheryl said, I spin with a spindle. We actually have a lot of exclusively spindle spinners. Oh, sorry, Lou. That's okay, Carrie. You don't worry about it. You do what you got to do. She said she's got to avoid the shop right now. Catherine said, hello, everyone. So glad to be with... Oh, I already got that one. I'm sorry. Teresa said, you can definitely learn on a drop spindle. I suggest the park and draft method. I think that is a good way to start. I do agree with that. Bonnie said, what's the fiber content? Superwash Cheviot. Sarah said, Dylan, drop spindle was frustrating for me. I am using a Navajo spindle, and I have found that's much easier and more intuitive to use. I never really felt like I got the hang of a drop spindle. I can spin on one, but I just never felt like, oh, I totally got this. You know what I mean? It just never felt like that was my go-to. So that's why I'm saying don't feel like if you struggle on an ongoing basis, in the beginning, you're probably going to struggle no matter what you do. I have seen a few prodigies, but not a lot. John is one of them. Okay. Okay, Sarah said Dylan drop spindle was frustrating for me. Oh, I already read that one too. I don't know why I'm doing it over and over. Andrew said they're both so gorgeous. I have never been disappointed with their subscription. Joanne said they're both lovely. Crystal said I'd be tempted to spin and ply them together. Mel said both are lovely. I'm going to do a fractal, I think. 2-ply fractal. Pardon me. Rachel said, I second struggling with Surrey. It's hard to, it's beautiful when you are to that point, but it's hard to start out with. Jelaine said, Jelaine Manic Spinner from Tacoma Park, welcome. Teresa said, Dylan, for alpaca, supported spindle might be something to think about, but like Trish said, don't get up if it is tricky. One day, all the muscle memory will just start clicking. And I'm reading Mastery again by George Leonard. I know you guys have heard me talk about it multiple times probably, but he talks about that. And I think that he explains a lot of it really, really well. And I would recommend anybody who wants to do an art or a craft like this, read that book. It's small. It's a short book. It will teach you a lot about how to get there, I guess. Stabby Hooker said, afternoon, hello. Nyla said, support spindles are great too. Crystal said, darn bad 3D printing. Tiffany said, can a person send a fleece to get it made into superwash? I don't think so. Rock said, I started with a drop spindle while waiting for my spinning wheel. I did eventually learn to draft, but found it frustrating. The wheel was so much easier for me. That's basically what happened with me. Rita said, I'm looking at getting the Ashford e-spinner. What do y'all think? I would love to hear what you think, Rita, when you do get it. I have never met an Ashford wheel I didn't like. So I suspect it will be great. Jan said, hi from Colorado. I can do drop spindle, but it feels so slow. To me, the traditional spinning wheel feels more satisfying. It's faster. Surrey alpaca is slippery. Yes, it can be slippery. It also can tend to get ropey really quickly with too much twist because it's so straight. There's no crimp to it. And it just will turn into rope really fast. So take that for what it's worth. Carolyn said, Dylan, it can make a difference how heavy they are and whether you can roll them on your leg. If you have to flick them, it can be harder on your hands and tendons. Joanne said, a support spindle automatically parks and drafts. It's my third spindle, and I wish I had started with it. I got a student drop. Oh, and a Turkish before the supported. Okay. So different types of spindles for some people. Makes sense. Mel said, I'm trying to make some headway on last sleeve for my sweater. I got to get this thing done. I'm kind of over this project. I have gotten to that point before. Go, Mel, go. You can do it. Carolyn said, at least for me. She's talking about the spindle. Jennifer said, what subscription were they again? These are Into the World. I think I signed up on Etsy. So if you go into Etsy, and it's not World... Here. Oh, you can do it on intotheworld.com. See? Just make sure you tell them where you saw it. Lost my place. Carrie said, Rita, I love e-spinners. I don't know if there's a bad one. Hello, Don. Good morning, Trish and all. I read Mastery based on your recommendation. Great book. It is a great book. I'm reading it again, like I said. Teresa said, Dylan, just give yourself breaks, I guess. I don't have arthritis, so I can't speak from experience. Breaks will help your brain process the muscle memory connections anyway, so it's good to take breaks. Carrie said, Mel, maybe set a timer for 15 minutes a couple times a day. That's what I do if I'm plowing through the end of a project I don't want to do. Rita said, I'm wanting something more portable. Thanks, Carrie. I'm sure you will love it. Moni said, I have an Ashford e-spinner. It's so wonderful, smooth, and real quiet. There you go. Caitlin said, I prefer bottom whirl spindles. I have not tried one, I don't think. Crystal said, anyone heard of Harlequin sheep? I have heard of them. You're welcome, Jennifer. It's not an expensive subscription either. Oh no, Margaret said their Fibre Club is closed right now. I think I joined in, well, I signed up in December, but you when you sign up, you don't get it until the next one, you know? You get charged and then you get the next month. Sorry. Dylan said I pushed through a lot of it as crochet is my fidget spinner. Oh, I got it. I'm stubborn and love to learn new yarn things. Got it. I don't really, is pushing through a good thing with arthritis? Because it seems like I have heard before. I got to turn the speed way down because I'm just going to spin a little more thick. It seems like I've heard before that it's good to get as much movement as you can when you have arthritis, right? Is that not right? Oh, I just cut my loop. Looky there. Alice, me too. Alice said, I hate daylight savings time. I hate it so much. Jerry said, just arriving, welcome. I just got an Ashford Jumbo e-spinner. Takes getting used to. The Jumbo is humongous. Mel said, Carrie, good idea. My arms are crazy long. They look normal in pictures, Mel. Alice said, working on the straight portion for my googly shirt. Venus said, going to the winter set by Des Moines Fiber Festival on the 25th of this month with my son and his spouse. They are selling their alpaca there. but he's going to take a spindle spinning class. That's exciting. Rock said developing muscle memory is frustrating. 15-minute timer can help force you to keep at it for 15 minutes, and it is also a good reminder to stop because you might find you lose your ability after 15 minutes. That's supposed to be the optimal amount of time to work on it. And then your brain continues to process all the connections you're making in the time that you're not still doing it. So it is good to take breaks. It's better to take breaks. Teresa said, shout out to Allison Barnes Yarn for her monthly fiber fix. You can get merino or BFL. Her colors are lovely. I'm not familiar with that one. Rita said, Alice, the eyes have it. That picture with the googly eyes is the funniest. Carrie said, don't get me started on the culture of pushing through. Definitely not. It isn't the best thing for everything. That much I do know. Okay. Sally said, I have more control of the fiber with my wheel than I do on a spindle. Well, oh, look at, see? What did I do? Alice said, speaking of arthritis, I think I'm getting it in my thumbs, pushing through anyway for now. You know, there is no effective thumb joint replacement. So try to take care of your thumbs. That's all I'm saying. Amanda said, I am a classical clarinetist and I also have a history of tendonitis and arthritis. And short bursts are best for practicing, and then 10 minutes hot, 10 minutes cold. Oh my gosh, Trish, really? Compresses. There are exercises that help. I didn't know that. Disky said, I wear compression gloves when playing with my yarn projects to help with the arthritis. I did not know that they would help with arthritis. Let's see. Now, come on now. What's going on over here? Wait a minute. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one that spins. Oh, hate it. Oh, for Pete's sake. I've got the wrong bobbin on here. We got to do it. Let's get it going. Oh, somebody asked earlier, what is Super Sock? It's a second sock competition that's kind of sort of similar to the old Tour de Sock. Okay. Okay, Alice said, thank you for reminding me. I need a new pair of compression gloves. Venus said, my son has EDS. I don't know what that is, so I don't think he'll keep up with it because of the pain. What is EDS? Sorry. I'm sure when you say it, I'm going to be like, oh. But I ordered him the EEW6 so he can enjoy spinning. I'm sure he'll like it. I have not found one thing yet that I don't like. Dylan said, more for my mental health, so I rest my hands when I sleep. Balance is everything. There you go. Alice said, trying, Trish, my mom had to quit crocheting because of arthritis in her hands. Need Tribe Juju vibes that I can continue for many more years. I think about that all the time, that, if I don't take care of my eyes and my joints, there might be a time where I can't do what I want to do, and that just about kills me. So, sounds terrible, doesn't it? Alice said, at least weaving gives relief on those joints. It does. Changing up the activity is always good, right? Caitlin said, waiting for the Shepherd Harvest Fest to buy some spinning supplies. Rita said the compression gloves sound nice. I love compression. It just feels better. It takes away some of the fatigue. Stabby said it's predicted 1 to 2 feet of snow this week. What? I may get to use my snowshoes for the first time ever. Alice said, "Aw, thanks, Carrie. Hugs back." Rita said, "Can you try the gloves, Alice?" Caitlin said, "Sadly, the St. Peter Woolen Mill doesn't have much, so I either have to buy online or attend a Fibre Fest." Is that close to you, Caitlin? Margaret said it's actually the February selection of the Into the World Fiber Club that sold out. Not the club, sorry for misleading. Oh, so you can get into the club if you want. They are not sponsoring me, by the way, either. Like I'm not trying to sell for them or anything. I used to get it years ago, and then I thought, okay, I'm getting too much fiber, I'm not catching up, whatever. And so I just signed back up in December, but I didn't get December, I got January and February. So Dylan said the compression gloves help, but can't use on my left hand as the wool catches, but the ones with copper are excellent. I've never tried that. Try those for your thumb pain. Alice said, "I have a knitting glove that helps, but lost its mate. Need to break down and buy a new set." Disky said the gloves help a lot. I tend to only do hot compresses after because it feels better. Oh, Venus said, okay, Ehlers-Danlos, probably saying it wrong, syndrome. It's a connective to, okay. I don't know that one, so I'm glad you explained it. Thank you. So it must cause pain. Elizabeth said, "Venus, does your son get regular massage? I have a handful of clients with EDS that find monthly massage helps manage the symptoms." Oh, Shelly said, "I can't see your bobbin." Thank you, Shelly. Hello, Shaylee. Eileen said, "Hello, everybody." Welcome back, Eileen. Were you traveling? Were you just hanging out, doing your thing? Just sorry I haven't been in touch much lately. Back now, missed you. I have been wondering. Kim said, "Will anyone be at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Show this year?" Can you see my gummy candy? I was eating, I told John I emptied the gummy bear bag while I was on the treadmill this morning. He's like, okay. Caitlin said, "Yeah, it's about a 20-minute drive from me." Okay. I'm not familiar with that mill. Dylan said, "Also have EDS. Menopause is causing frequent dislocations." Oh, goodness. That sounds really scary. "I'm fine. Been happening since I was 2, so a pro on that one." Wow. Sally said, "I would like to get an e-spinner, but I'm worried about the motor overheating." We haven't had that problem. Sally, I had mine for like 6 or 7 years before it started to overheat, and it was used then. So I don't think that's like the first thing to be worried about. You know what I mean? I don't think it happens a ton. They all have a system for dissipating the heat. Arlene said, "I feel the same way, Trish. I broke my wrist a year ago and I'm still having problems and pain with it. I fear there may come a time when I won't be able to do all my handcrafts." Scary thought. I have always been scared that my eyes would do it. I mean, my eyes are the first concern I have because they're so bad. Dylan said, "Reiki is excellent." Carrie said, "Sally, I can use my EE6 for hours at a time and it doesn't have an issue." That has a very good system for dissipating the heat, according to John. Elizabeth said, "Oh, it's so pretty." Hello, Jessica. Terry said, "My hand doctor prescribed compression glove for my left hand where my thumb isn't the arthritis in my thumb, and I love them, and I also love drop spindles. All of them. I haven't tried to kick spindle." Alice said, "Hi to Eileen." Elizabeth said, "Sally, what Carrie said is true." Carrie said, "Gummies on the treadmill. That's actually genius." Well, there was only a few left in the bag. And I thought, I'm just going to take this handful and get on the treadmill. I got my 10,000 steps in by like 11 today. So. And I still need to get this whole house vacuumed. I need to rinse all that wool up there. I got to bake cookies. I got stuff to do. Venus said, Elizabeth, his is rather severe. He probably does, but his back hurts. I rather he sits or stands or sit. He used to knit. I taught all my children to knit, but had to quit because of the pain in his hand joints. That's right. Carrie said, your eyes are the windows of your face. Sometimes I practice still, knitting with my eyes shut and doing different things with my eyes shut because I'm so afraid that someday I won't be able to be corrected enough to see what I'm doing. It's probably unreasonable. Margaret said there will be a Fibre Fest and sale on 318 at Abernathy Grange in Oregon City, Oregon, if anyone is close enough to attend. We do have at least one person in Oregon, but I don't think she's here right now. Are you here, Randy? I don't think so. Shelley said, I am always amazed at how you can spin without looking at your hands. You know, Shelley, I have told the story before. The first time I was around people spinning on wheels, the lady that was explaining how it works said, before long, you won't even look at your hands. And I was like, that's not going to happen. But it did. It took me a long time to trust it. Mal said, I feel like I better go take my collagen and glucosamine now. I wish there was something to preserve our joints better. It's my big toes that are the issue. Margarita said, treats on the treadmill might motivate me to actually get on the treadmill. I really only got on the treadmill because of the snow today. Carolyn's in Oregon and Shelley is too. Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't know so many of you. Look at you. Eileen said, I was late and haven't been around much. What is everybody working on? Let's talk about it. What is everybody working on? Rita said, Rita, you know what? I did it for like 10 years. Rita said, I have to look at what I'm doing while I'm spinning. I bet you it was 10 years before I decided to start not looking. Dylan said, losing your vision doesn't stop your minimum color vision and sight and right eye. Makes me more determined, but not so great on shade and depth. Andy. Okay, Andy is the one that I was thinking of, and I wasn't sure if you were still here. Hello, Janie. Crystal said, I look at my hands while I spin. I think that there's nothing wrong with looking at your hands. Eileen said, I just finished another pair of Colorwork socks, hand spun, the contrast color. Love them. Yes, please post a picture. I put some patterns in my queue after the last time that you posted pictures, Eileen. Don's in Oregon too. Look at all of you. Wow. Jerry said, I am knitting a prayer shawl. Is it for someone specific, Jerry, or do you donate them for when someone needs one? Rita said, almost finished the second sleeve of my sweater. Crystal said, I have a pair of socks for me, dark academia sweater, and mittens I'm ignoring. Crystal said, some of the projects will be knocked out while I wait for my thumb to heal. There you go, because you'll just be knitting. Arlene said, sewing right now, but we'll be knitting on my cozy memories blanket later. Disky said, working on tea towels for my kitchen while getting spring cleaning done. I'm getting ready to start spring cleaning this week. Cheryl said, spinning merino for spin off, spin to lace. Carrie said, I look at my hands while I spin, not because I have to, but because fiber is pretty. It is pretty. It does motivate you too to watch it like go through color changes and stuff, doesn't it? Sarah said, I have quite a few wipes, but working on whips probably, but working on a blanket square while watching the live. That's a good thing to work on. I always have to find the right project for lives. Carolyn said, socks. I found a pair that I forgot about and only needed the foot done. Susie said, I just blocked my rosenrot yoke. Now I'm working on the mushroom socks. Those are so cute, Susie. Caitlin said, applying some Shetland and crocheting on a sweater. Susie, can you explain to me about those little kits? Is that yarn dyed to do that? How? Jan said, I'm knitting my first fingering weight sweater. Hope I'll have the patience to finish it. Wait, I'm looking. What we'd have to knock wood for Jan. Jerry said a local church distributes them, so you donate them. That's so nice. I love it. Terry said I'm crocheting a coaster. Deanna said finishing up a hat from some of my first hand spun. It's not perfect, but it's working well. Sarah said not wipes, whips. I figured it out. Good morning, Jurup. Rachel said working on colorwork socks for my dad's birthday. They have guitars on them. I'm spinning some alpaca merino rose for my mom's birthday. Probably going to be a shawl. And spinning my rainbow yarn for myself. There you go. Make sure you do something for yourself in there. Janie said I'm mending my son's coat right now. Rico said I need to remove a warp because I don't like the error in the threading and I bought the wrong yarn for weft. Oh, I'm sorry. I always feel a little bit bad cutting off a warp. But then once it's done, I'm like, okay, good, that's done. You know what I mean? Cindy said I have 3 different projects on the needles, working on Erskine sweater by Bristol Ivy, very different construction, and a double knitted cowl, first double knit, and a brickless shawl. You are very busy. Connie is also unwarping. I warped 32 inches backwards, wondering how bad I want to save this yarn. Could you not wind it like all the way to the front and then onto the back? That's what I did when I warped mine backwards. Not that I would ever make that mistake, but I did more than once. Just telling you. Rachel said I can go between watching TV, movies, and looking at my hands while I spin. It's taken me a while though, and I spin up to 6 hours a day. Wow. Off and on some days. Susie said, yes, the yarn is dyed to knit as self-patterning. I also have a kit for sheep sock pattern. I looked at some of those patterns and I was like, I just can't. How in the world? I can't imagine it. Alice said I have to crochet my shirts a lot wider since 2020. That's annoying. I'm with you, Alice. So Susie, how do you know when you start knitting, how do you know that your tension is correct and everything? How do you just, if things don't line up, then you have to change your gauge, or what do you do? Deb said daylight. Wait. Andy said, I finished my tin can knits. Love note. Thanks to everyone in the group who helped me fix my neckline. Andy, I hope you'll post a picture of it now that it's done. Deb said daylight savings time did me dirty. I'm late. I knew somebody would have trouble, Deb. Don't feel bad. I hate daylight savings. I really do. I wish we could just leave it. Margarita said, I tried to make a blanket like the one in your chair. It was an epic failure, so I started crocheting a corner-to-corner blanket instead. Perfect. Dylan said, currently crocheting scrap solid granny squares. Jerup said, not making anything because I am visiting my son and daughter-in-law. First trip to Melbourne since New Year's Eve 2019. So have you seen them in between? What a long time not to get to see them. Deb said working on a crochet baby baseball cap for a coworker's baby. That sounds fun. Mel said in an effort to get it to stop snowing, I cast on a pair of colorwork mittens. My kiddo has a big paper due tonight, so asked me to make chocolate monkey bread today. I need to go purge clothes. You are the busiest woman, Mel, I swear. Carrie said, thank you for your sacrifice, Mel. Don said, I'm done crocheting my first sweater ever for my wife. I just need to assemble and join sleeves. I'm very excited. That's really lovely. Rox is spinning some white-faced woodland at the moment. Is it dyed or is it natural? Alice said I was late too. Speaking of late joiners, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It always helps, but I know it's not always easy to do for some of us. Susie said trial and error, change needles, number of stitches. This yarn has been the biggest challenge for me in knitting. I kind of want to try it. But then being me, and I'm sure some of you guys will not be surprised by this, I look at it and I'm like, you could dye that, Trish. You know what I mean? But do I really want to? Probably not. Eileen said, oh, that's at daylight savings time. I was wondering why you were early. We change next week. There's no rhyme or reason to it, Eileen. We're not really saving any daylight. We get the same amount. Just we get all whacked out for a couple weeks. Terry said, I love monkey bread. Who doesn't? Rock said, the white-faced woodland is natural. I'll dye it later if I end up liking the yarn. There you go. Okay. Jerome said, yes, they have visited me, but I have stayed away from the city to limit exposure to bugs. Eileen said, I love white-faced woodland rocks. How do you like it? I love it too. But have I ever met a wool I didn't love? Really, not so much. Moni said, I'm spinning different solid skeins for toe, heel, and cuff. That's fun. Sally is finishing the clamshell hooded scarf. Rock said, Eileen, it's easy to spin long draw. I wasn't having any luck with a short draw. Susie, that would be nice so I could try, but I really feel like I just need to order it, right? I'm just being a baby. I'm just being me and saying, you could just dye it. But am I going to do that? It's fiddly. Alice said, bread. I've decided homemade naan is the go-to for everything. Sandwiches, pizza, tacos, dipping. It's perfect. We make it here, Alice, and we like it for BLTs in the summer. I mean, I make it when I do Indian food too, but... Crystal says, haha, I talked Troll into door dashing so I can order some Fibre. Good job. Carrie said, I saw a vendor at a craft show years ago wearing a shirt that said, sure, you could make it for yourself, but will you? I always have to, weigh that. Am I going to do it? I don't know. Mel said, I'm just easily distracted and try to multitask so too much. Sparkly squirrels. You are busy, Mel. You're always cleaning, painting, hanging curtains. Meanwhile, I barely vacuum my house. I've been better lately, though. I've been trying to put stuff into my routines because I know that that's how I get it done. Rita said, Trish on the DL's thingy true. What? Good job. Alice said, I'm getting better at long draws, still practicing. That's all it takes. Just got practice and practice and practice. Eileen said, I have some Rambouillet that is in the naughty corner. Uh-oh. I guess I like medium wools better than that super fine stuff. Oh, I just got a little chunk I don't want in there. Alice said, BLTs are the perfect sandwich. Once I start getting my tomatoes ripe in my garden, I want to have them every day. So good. Alice loves sparkly squirrels. Now we're all going to be looking for one. Rico said, is it weird to want to be blue from dyeing with indigo, asking for my shameless self? I don't think it's weird. I love it when I dye myself, honestly. Can't feel bad about it. Mel said, if you saw my house, you would take that all back. You've sent me pictures, Mel. I've seen parts of your house, and none of it was ugly, and it didn't look dirty. That's one of the best things about, little pictures, though. I mean, people can't see the dirt. Crystal said, naan is the perfect bread. I should try making some. I got a good recipe, Crystal. He said, yes, sparkly squirrels. Got it. I got it, Rita. I am all discombobulated for maybe 2 weeks after we spring forward. Just nothing feels like the time is right. Everything feels off. Carrie said there's so many better things to do than cleaning. Susie said, unless you enjoy dyeing self-striping yarn, buying it is the better option. I took lots of good Ravelry pattern notes for you. You're the best. I really plan to do some self-striping yarn, but I haven't really done much of it yet. Unless I do it in a blank. Let's see. Okay, Crystal said, I have struggled dyeing blue. It has all turned out pink. Really? What are you using, Crystal? Carrie said, your house always looks great, Trish, because you can't see the dirt in the video and the dog hair. You occasionally can see the dog hair. And you know what? I don't remove it. I purposely don't, because I feel like we should normalize more of that instead of the perfect homes on like TikTok and all that. Disky said, Carrie, if it wasn't that I couldn't find my stash, I would not be spring cleaning. Moni said you need to share. Moni, are you in the Facebook group? Because I could share it there. I will share it there. Carolyn said I need to summon vacuum today too by Poor Dog's baths yesterday. Yep. Vacuum today. I agree, Carrie, but there comes a time. I will, Mel, it's not online. It's in a book, but I will post it. I have been so much better about like vacuuming everything and mopping the floors lately. I use a steam mop, so it's not hard to do. But I say that it's not hard to do, and then I'll leave it alone for like a month, you know. Alice said, speaking of dyeing, I'm thinking, oh, you okay? I'm thinking keeping the lighter background on the googly shirt will be less creepy, but I still want to dye the heads. I have a t-shirt tie-dye set of lots of colors. See part 2. Suggestions for how to isolate the motifs. I think you're going to, this is going to sound bad. I think you're going to have to rubber band them if you want to isolate them, because it's going to bleed. So it's like you gather it all up and make a little bundle of the skull, and then you get the rubber band right on the line. If you look up some tie-dye things where they do pictures, you'll see it. I think that's the only thing that's going to work. Joanne said, whoever was asking about OBS, our church uses vMix, low cost but easier to use than OBS. I didn't even know about that. Okay, Moni, I'll post it in the group. Crystal said, I have used food color and tulip dyes and Kool-Aid, all stuff I have never had issues with blue. I think it's whatever they add to the water during the winter. Because that would make me think that something is changing your pH. And the reason I think that is because I have one dye from Dharma that if I add more vinegar to it, it changes the color because the pH changes. So Crystal, I gotta think about how you could fix that. Carrie said, I'm decluttering for mental health, but dusting, scrubbing baseboards is a thumbs down for Carrie. Okay, I'm gonna go through these and then I gotta get going. I'm so sorry, but I gotta bake cookies and I need to rinse yarn. Bridget said, I spun some self-striping yarn. I spun my single in the color sequence I wanted, then chain plied. I have spun a lot, but I want to just dye some. Mel, me too. Lisa, yes, I'm sorry. I should have announced it earlier, but I literally didn't even figure it out until we were lying in bed last night. And I said to John, is the time changing? Rico said, I have yet to dye the original desired color. I think I need more. I need to control each variable a little more. Oh, good luck. That's one of my worst skills. Carrie answered also. Alice said, Trish, that makes sense. I was thinking the same. A little bleed is okay, but trying not to get crazy with it, and maybe an egg carton to soak. That's a good idea. You could drop the little, I don't know. You're just going to have to be really careful. Maybe you could just crochet a couple, like a small band of them, and try it. Rita said, why organize my stash? That counts for spring cleaning. It does. Absolutely. Laura said, I have a Shark robot vacuum and an iRobot mopper. I'm spoiled. They do not do a great job, but at least my house looks okay. Does not look dirty. I have an iRobot auto vacuumer, and I use it almost every day on part of the house. So that really helps a lot. But you're right, it doesn't do a great job. But it is nice to, it helps. It helps you. Alice said, USA started daylight savings this weekend. Crystal said, I swore off blue till summer. Dylan said everything I make comes with husky hair and love. Caitlin said sleeves done now to add the edging on it. Bottled water might work, might be your ticket. But I think it might be your pH. Teresa said, Crystal, could you use distilled water? Arlene, thank you. Thank you. I have to mail some cookies to some of the boys. Alice said, love you, Trish and Tribe. Have a beautiful evening. I love you guys too. I appreciate you so much. You don't even know. You really don't. I don't know how to thank you all, but I really appreciate you. Alice said, yeah, I'm going to test on my swatch. Good. Perfect. Definitely test it. Tisky said, love being here. Thank you. The dyeing's done. I just have to rinse it all. Oh, thank you. Eileen said, love you, Trish. Good to see you all again, Tribe. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. I'm glad you guys are back. I'm glad you're back, Eileen. Brenda said, I just made it. I'm going to watch the replay. Hello. Sarah said, had lots of fun. Hope the rest of everyone's day goes well. Yep, press the like on your way out if you can stand it. I appreciate ya. I'm going to go rinse a whole butt ton of yarn. Have a good day.